Alright everyone, thought I'd put my jacket on, I'm getting cold. Sitting about drinking cold coffee. I'm gonna get myself out and about in the dark nights and that. Right? And I'm gonna have to bring a hot tea with us. Because I can't sit there, I'll get myself out and about. Some good locations, do some good self-interviewing, and but I'll be sitting down for a canny while and getting cold. So I'll make sure I'm well wrapped up and got plenty of hot tea. So I'll be bringing me little camping stove and all that with us, a little rocket pocket. It's a good one. Right. Do you know, I haven't got any pals that didn't drink. So I didn't really hang around with anyone. Or take drugs. I've got one pal, believe it or not, I'll not say who it is, but he doesn't drink and he doesn't take drugs. He's just like me. He's just like me. Doesn't re-offend or nothing like that. I got other pals who, they didn't re-offend, right, but they drink and they get drunk all the time. Well, they get drunk every night. I can't do that. So I didn't do it. I'd rather sit on my own and talk into my camera. I'll get much more sense out of my camera than I will off sitting with all them lot. Drinking and all that crap. Aye. But I like a bit of solitude now and again. I'm gonna change to another location from here. That's right. Right, so, what made it come onto YouTube? Well, about 2 months ago, someone from me past started posting videos that brought up loads of feelings for us. You know, up until that point, I had sporadically seen like James English, who else? Steve Rafe, Sean Atwood, and I'd only sporadically seen all that sort of stuff, and that, you know, I wasn't really that much interested in that, you know. People promoting themselves and talking about stuff, and well, that's all it is really. But like what I'm doing. But when I seen this video, it wasn't from them. And there was loads of them, mind you, and these had been going on for about 6 weeks or so, 2 months, before I seen them. So I watched them, started thinking, and I thought I'll write a book about my experience, not about being a gangster, because I'm not a gangster. I've been a criminal for most of my life. I felt like one for most of my life. Right? And I thought to myself, if I'm gonna write a book I'm going to write one, right, that talks about me and how I've dealt with my stuff, right? Not about what crimes I've done. I put all that in and stuff and that, and own me offending behaviour, but also talk about, write about how I dealt with all that and how I'm safe in the community and stuff and that. And it brings up a lot of feelings when I think about it all. So my head's all over the place, thinking about stuff. So I decided to reach out to Professor David Wilson. He's like one of the world's top criminologists, you know. He does profiles, murderers and serial killers and stuff like that, and he's kinda good at what he does, you know. I knew he had done a couple of things in the media and that, but I didn't realise how much he had really done, you know. But I know he had supported other people like me who took steps in writing books and that, you know. And he's a friend of Grendon, and I'm from Grendon. You see, he's a friend of Grendon. And I thought, well, I'll reach out to him. As long as I've got out to hide and I'm honest with all my approach, then I'll have no problems. So I reached out to him about the book and stuff and that, and I ended up being interviewed by the professor on for a podcast called If It Bleeds, It Leads. And it was a canny little interview, but, you know, I could have done better, but it was like me. I'm talking to the world's renowned criminal psychologist, you see, and I'm talking to the Amelia Fox. You know, so I was a bit nervous, and you can tell in my voice. You can always tell in my voice when I'm nervous. You can. I talk different. So I've got to learn to relax my voice on camera and talk normally. So it was hard. It was hard, but I think I've done all right. And this was like 6 weeks ago, this interview. So I've been a bit worried about it, you know, thinking what's going on. But I'm all right, so I'm thinking about just publishing it on my YouTube. And then these guys, they are it, because it's an audio one. So that's all right. It's all about the content, the words that are coming out of my mouth in any case, you know what I mean? So, I'll put that on this channel, but what I'll do is I'll email first and let people know that I'm doing it, what my plans are. Yeah. So watch Crime Files. Watch Crime Files on Amazon. It's brilliant. Couldn't believe it. The professor texted straight back. No, he's not. He's all right. He texted straight back. Of course, I remember you from Grendon. It was great. All right. And then after that, after we'd communicated and that, I'll start looking them up properly about what I've been doing recently. And this is where I learned about Crime Files and stuff like that, and the Bridgewater Fall. He done a documentary for the Bridgewater Fall for Channel 4, and I thought that was great. I gotta say. Aye. The most telling moment for me in that documentary was, I call it the predator moment, you know, where the professor first walks into the murderer's house, and the murderer's there, and he shows him his artwork, and it's like, whoa, big huge tigers on the wall. And I'm thinking to myself, oh aye, that rings alarm bells for me. That was the predator moment as far as I was concerned. And then you had the bit at the end with the birds, how gentle he was with the birds. You see, with people like him, they're hard to figure out at times, because just because you're a bit different to everybody else doesn't mean you're guilty of stuff, you know? I mean, look at a personality. Look at Chris Eubank. He's got a funny personality, him. But that's just the way he is. He's a nice guy, you know? Aye. So that documentary was good when I watched that. Couldn't believe it. But it was a big case, and 4 innocent burglars went to prison for a very long time because of it. And I don't know if they're still convicted. I didn't look into that. And then I watched Crime Files, and it is a really, really, really good watch. Like, I gotta see it. Quite impressed with it. The interviews were brilliant. It was from a wide range of people. I mean, you had Paul Ferris on there, which everybody will probably be familiar with the most. But you had like the top barristers who represented some of the most heinous crimes in recent British history and stuff like that, you know, and top pathologist talking about doing autopsies, and she had been to Bosnia and that, you know, and she's quite a woman, this woman. Like, I gotta see her. To work like that and to take that sort of profession on, it's just inspiring. Gotta see her. And then you had this woman on, I can't remember her name, but because Glasgow was the murder capital of Europe for a very long time, and it's always been that way for a long, long time. Glasgow's been a noticed city for all that sort of stuff, you know. Well, this very clever woman come along and decided to try and do something about it. And she brought this program in. I have to get the names and so that doing there I can read them. You know, and a violence reduction program, right? That actually helped with the social aspects of crime that were going on in Glasgow, on the streets of Glasgow, in them underclass, same thing in Newcastle, underclass / working class environments, you see, and actually started helping people, and it worked. It's worked really well, and the violence in Scotland dramatically went down, and the place is better for it. And this has apparently been going on for a number of years, and they've been trying to bring it down into Britain, into England. I don't know what's wrong with us English. We must be stupid or something. But we're not prepared to go into these communities that exist down here and do the same thing as what the Scots have. Come on, Boris Johnson, sort it out. Get your head a wobble, man. What's going on? You stop listening to the people who are intelligent. Or are emotionally intelligent. Aye. Never mind. But I like to talk about things sensibly. I like to feel that I'm informed about what I'm talking about. But however, doesn't matter what subject you're talking about, you can never be really fully informed. So you have to be prepared to stand corrected. Yes, but getting back to the crime files was great. Now, I highly recommend that you watch it. It goes on not just about gang hits, but the different kind of gang hits and there's three different kinds of hitmen. That's a first for me. Aye. And I found out maybe what kind of murderer I am as well. But I'll keep that private one. Maybe I should have another good watch of crime files and gone through it. I've released my interview and that. Be good. So that's the professor in any case, guys.